Welcome to Bayanat, the heartbeat of tech in MENA. We bring you raw stories and sharp insights from the founders, investors, and leaders building the region's startup ecosystem. And today, we're diving into a really interesting story unfolding right here. We're talking about Ticket.
That's right, the event management and ticketing platform. They've been scaling pretty rapidly across the MENA region. It's quite the journey.
It really is. And our insights today, they come from a deep dive into the Founders Hustle article titled Ticket, a startup's journey through resilience and growth.
Good source.
So our mission here is to really unpack the key moments, the challenges they faced, and the strategies that actually worked for Ticket.
Exactly. We want to pull out those valuable lessons, things that you can actually use, whether you're, say, building a startup yourself, looking to invest, or maybe you're just fascinated by how things get built in this ecosystem.
Okay, so where does this story begin? It often starts with the founder, right?
Absolutely. Let's talk about Cedric Zavian. He's the co-founder and CEO. His background is kind of interesting. He did mechanical engineering at UCL in London, academically strong.
But apparently he also had this real passion for music, nightlife, events. The article quotes him saying something like, "I was never the guy that worked a lot. I partied most of my time."
Right. It's not always the expected path into founding a tech company. And the big trigger for him, the thing that made him really question the traditional career route, it was COVID-19.
Ah, the pandemic effect.
Yeah, being stuck at home back in Lebanon, it forced some introspection, that what am I actually doing kind of moment.
And that's when the Ticket idea really sparked, or resurfaced maybe.
Exactly. Resurface is the right word. It came from this old frustration he had. Apparently, he got turned away from a nightclub table who'd reserved for his 18th birthday in London.
Ouch. That sticks with you.
It did, and it just popped back into his head. Why isn't there a proper, reliable platform for this stuff, for reservations?
So from personal annoyance to potential business, how did it solidify?
Well, he first used the concept for an entrepreneurship class project, but as he dug deeper, he started seeing the real potential. That's when it shifted from just an idea to a potential venture.
Okay, but the path from idea to actual product, it's rarely smooth sailing, is it? The article mentions it was pretty rocky.
Oh, yeah. 2 significant failures before they actually hit on something that worked. Resilience is definitely the key word here.
So he teamed up with co-founders Mark Garrios and Ralph Garrios. What was the initial plan?
Their first vision was quite specific. A platform for this one well-known nightclub in Lebanon. They wanted it to handle everything: guest lists, booking tables, splitting bills, and selling tickets. Ambitious.
Okay, attempt number 1. What went wrong? This was around 2021.
Yeah. The big hurdle was they lacked the technical expertise in-house, so they outsourced the development, found a developer who promised an MVP, a minimum viable product.
Sounds standard, but...
But a whole year went by, payments were made, and what they got back was basically just an interface. It looked okay, you could click around, but there's no back-end functionality at all. Nothing worked underneath.
Wow. A whole year and money down the drain on a facade? That's a tough lesson.
It really is. And maybe the first big takeaway for founders listening: technical oversight is critical. Even if you outsource, you need to understand enough or have someone who does to really monitor progress. You can't just trust blindly.
Lesson learned the hard way. So what happened next? Attempt 2.
Right. They regrouped. This time they'd bootstrapped it, used their own funds, and hired some junior developers. They spent another year building it themselves.
Okay, building in-house now. Sounds better.
You'd think so, but they fell into a different trap. They built what they thought was the perfect platform, but they did it completely in isolation. They didn't talk to their potential customers and the event organizers during the process.
Uh-oh. Building in a bubble. I sense another insight coming.
You got it. Insight number 2. Talk to your customers. Get feedback early and often. You absolutely have to validate your ideas during development, not after you think you're finished. Otherwise, you risk building something nobody actually wants or needs.
So when they finally showed it to organizers, the reaction was...
Pretty much crickets, rejections. It just wasn't solving the problems the organizers actually had.
Okay, so 2 strikes. This is where many might give up.
But they didn't. They started asking different questions. Instead of pitching at people, they started listening. Asking things like, okay, why won't you use this? What are you using now? What do you genuinely need?
And that listening phase, that led to the breakthrough.
Bingo, that's the aha moment. They discovered the real unmet need wasn't just another ticketing site. It was the complete lack of data and actionable insights for event planners.
Right, unlike, say, e-commerce, where data is everything.
Exactly. Event organizers were flying blind. They had no real metrics on who was attending, their demographics, engagement levels, nothing concrete to help them improve or grow.
So that became the new focus, attempt number 3.
Yes, they rebuilt Ticket again, focusing entirely on those customer needs. It evolved into more than just ticketing. It became a comprehensive data and marketing tool for organizers.
How long did that rebuild take?
Much faster this time, about 6 months. They knew exactly what to build. Key features were things like a dashboard, a CRM customer relationship management tool, giving organizers real-time insights.
So knowing things like attendance numbers, demographic.
Yeah, and built-in marketing tools, too. Things like sending mass WhatsApp or email messages, running targeted ads, which the ticket team could even manage for them. Plus, they started adding AI-powered analytics to help predict event success.
That's a significant pivot from just selling tickets to selling intelligence.
Totally. Now, they face that classic B2B2C challenge. You need both sides of the marketplace at once. How do you get event planners, the B2B side, and ticket buyers, the B2C side, onto a new platform simultaneously?
Yeah, the chicken and egg problem. Big organizers won't list without users, and users won't come without events.
Their solution was pretty smart and maybe a bit counterintuitive. Instead of going after the big fish right away, they focused on small clubs and freelance event planners in Lebanon.
The underserved market. Why them specifically?
Because these smaller players were often new to digital ticketing altogether. Their main pain points were things like counterfeit tickets showing up at the door, employee theft, and critically, that lack of data we talked about. They had no way to track revenue properly or understand their audience to grow.
So Ticket came in offering solutions for those specific problems.
Exactly. Security, clear revenue tracking, and those valuable insights. They were basically democratizing data for the smaller event planners.
What about payments? Lebanon's a heavily cash-based market, right? How did they handle that?
Good point. They tackled that directly by partnering with local money transfer agencies, OMT, Bob Finance, places like that.
So you could book online?
Yep, book online, get a unique code, and then you had 24 hours to go pay in cash at one of thousands of locations. Simple, but it removed a massive barrier for local users.
That combination, the ticketing plus the CRM and data tools, the article says that was their unique edge.
That's what it highlights. They weren't just another ticketing vendor. They were offering a business intelligence toolkit tailored for event organizers.
And this created a kind of organic growth engine.
It did. The event planners started promoting their own events heavily on social media, naturally driving their attendees, the ticket buyers, to the ticket platform.
Ah, so the supply side brought the demand side.
Precisely. And as the B2C user base grew, it made Ticket more attractive to more event planners, creating this self-sustaining cycle.
The results they mention are pretty staggering for organic growth.
Yeah, the article says they went from basically 0 to 150,000 monthly active users with less than $10,000 spent on marketing over about 3 years. That's impressive. It shows the power of finding and solving a real niche problem.
Okay, so they've got traction in Lebanon. What's the next logical step? Expansion.
Right, and they made a strategic choice. Dubai?
Why Dubai specifically, not London or New York?
Well, the thinking was about market dynamics. They saw the MENA region as high growth. The article mentions around 15% average annual growth for the events market here. Compare that to London or New York, which are huge markets, yes, but also super saturated with intense competition.
So opportunity versus competition density.
Exactly. Dubai was developing rapidly, offered that growth potential, and importantly, had fewer established competitors doing exactly what Ticket was doing at that moment.
Plus, Dubai's government has been actively pushing to diversify its economy, making it generally welcoming for tech scale-ups.
True. And interestingly, they viewed the regulatory hurdles in Dubai, things like needing approvals from the Ministry of Tourism, finding local partners not just as pains, but potential advantages.
How so? A barrier to entry.
Kind of, yeah. By navigating those complexities quickly, they effectively built a moat around their business. It made it harder for potentially larger, slower-moving international competitors to just jump into the market easily.
And Cedric's background helped there too.
Definitely. Being fluent in Arabic, having connections within Dubai's significant Lebanese community that gave them a natural advantage for scaling quickly and, importantly, cost-effectively.
And the demographics in Dubai, lots of young people, digitally connected.
A perfect target audience for an event platform. It all lined up quite well.
Okay, let's quickly touch on the business model. How does Ticket actually make money? The article mentions three streams.
Right. Number one, the main source is transaction fees. They take a commission on each ticket sold through the platform.
Standard enough for ticketing. What else?
Second, there's a SaaS subscription software as a service. That's for accessing their event management dashboard and CRM tools. Although they might waive this fee sometimes for organizers who agree to use Ticket exclusively for their ticketing.
Okay, a way to lock in exclusivity.
Yeah.
And the third?
Marketing and event services. They can charge organizers fees for running targeted ad campaigns or doing outreach. And they're apparently exploring things like sponsored event listings on the platform too.
Got it. Now, fundraising. They didn't rush into it, did they?
No, their approach was quite disciplined. They were bootstrapped for a good while, funding operations themselves. They were inspired by metrics like Uber's famous one.
The one about customer retention.
Yeah.
If someone orders twice, they're highly likely to order a third time.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Ticket wanted to identify their own key predictable growth or retention metric before going out to raise serious capital. They didn't want to raise money just based on a story. They wanted hard data proving their model worked predictably.
So what was Ticket's magic metric?
They figured out that an event planner was effectively retained, meaning very likely to stick with the platform long term once they had listed and successfully sold tickets for 2 events, hitting at least 60% capacity for both.
And the key finding?
According to the article, every single planner who hit that specific milestone continued using Ticket. That's incredibly strong validation.
Wow. Okay, so that's the point when they felt ready to raise.
Exactly. Armed with that validated strategy and predictable retention, they started their seed round. The article says it's partially closed now, bringing in strategic investors who can help them scale further.
And they've certainly got some accolades to show for it.
Yeah, things like appearing on Shark Tank Dubai, being featured on a show related to Harvard Business School, Cedric making the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. It adds to the momentum.
Plus that impressive growth number, a $3.5 million increase in transaction volume in less than a year.
It all paints a picture of a company that's really hit its stride after those tough early pivots. Cedric sounds optimistic, quoted saying, "The best is yet to come."
It really is a compelling journey. From those initial failed attempts, building in isolation, to really listening, pivoting, and finding that unique market fit.
Absolutely. That focus on solving a specific unaddressed problem, the lack of data for smaller organizers, and then executing a smart niche-focused strategy for growth and expansion, it's textbook startup resilience and cleverness, really.
So as we wrap up, maybe a final thought for our listeners.
Yeah, I think Ticket's story really makes you consider how resilience, combined with that sharp focus on an underserved niche like data for small event organizers, in their case, can be incredibly powerful.
It shows that maybe the biggest wins aren't always in tackling the biggest, most obvious markets head on from day one.
Right. Sometimes it's about identifying those hidden pain points, those underserved segments, and building something defensible by solving their specific problems really, really well. It makes you wonder.
What hidden data gaps, workflow issues, or overlooked customer groups exist in your industry or your target market here in MENA? Solving those creatively might just unlock that kind of powerful organic growth that Ticket found. Something to think about.
For more stories like this, subscribe to Bayanat's newsletter and stay updated on the latest in MENA's tech and startup ecosystem.